Congratulations, you're about to learn the last story structure model you'll ever need. Because in this course, we're going to master Universal Story Language, a wildly powerful tool that can help you create your perfect plot and turn your idea or first draft into a bulletproof blockbuster or bestseller. And to start things off, we're going to spend this lesson covering what Universal Story Language is, why it's the most powerful model out there, and a super fast overview before we dive into the details in the coming lessons. So, enough hype. What the heck is this Universal Story Language thing we keep mentioning? Well, as we covered in our last mini course, a story structure model is a collection of specific story steps in a specific order. We looked at 3-act structure, Save the Cat, the Story Circle, and the Hero's Journey. But what you're about to learn will blow those other models out of the water. And here's why. Universal Story Language, or USL, is the first story model that was built from the ground up to cover the 3 most critical needs of any writer. Number 1, is it easy to understand and easy to visualize? Number 2, does it cover every step to make your story as powerful as possible? And number 3, can it build off your existing knowledge and help you communicate with other writers? If you haven't guessed, the answer to all 3 of those crucial questions is yes. USL is a 15-step model that uses symbols to help you remember exactly what should happen at each step of your story. It's built symmetrically and clearly alternates between phases and moments. It was created to include not only every step you'll see in popular stories, but every step you'll see in popular models as well, making sure you hit every beat. And of course, since it was designed with other models in mind, it is incredibly easy to build on the knowledge you already have. Plus, you can understand what other writers or structuralists are talking about when they use unfamiliar words, since USL can easily translate between dozens of story structure terms. Okay, enough horn tooting. Let's put our money where our mouth is and dive into an overview. USL is broken into 15 steps, represented by these symbols. You can see that they come in 2 different shapes. The bottom symbols represent phases, which are usually longer and encompass multiple scenes in multiple locations, as shown by the arrows pointing to either side. Meanwhile, the top symbols represent moments, which are shorter and usually last a single scene or even part of a scene in one location, as shown by the single arrow pointing down from the bottom. USL also uses 3 acts, like many popular models, and it fits in like this. You'll notice there are 2 moments, known as the outer gateway and inner gateway, which separate the acts. So, what are the rest of these steps called, and how do they translate to a story? We're going to spend the next 15 lessons covering these terms one by one in detail. But for now, it'll be helpful to start with a simple overview. Your protag will start in their ordinary world in the setup, but then something will happen to them during the catalyst that will present a kind of opportunity. They'll debate whether or not to pursue it in the hesitation, then they'll commit to a goal and set off in the outer gateway. Since they're entering a new situation, they'll test things out in the testing phase. But danger will show itself in the moment of danger. The protag will start succeeding in the uphill climb. They'll find a big success and a big failure during the midpoint, and then they'll begin to struggle and fail in the downhill fall. This failure will climax in the moment of peril, which is the worst thing that will happen to your protag. They'll hit their lowest point during rock bottom, and just when all seems lost, they'll have an epiphany and undergo a great internal change known as the inner gateway. Recommitting to their goal, they'll rise towards victory in the final plan. They'll face the antag in the story climax, either achieving their goal or failing. And finally, in the aftermath, we'll get to see what life is like after their journey, including how the world has changed because of their quest. That's obviously a super brief example, but it gives you some context of where we're headed. On the surface, it seems like this might only apply to big quest stories, but this model can be used for romances, thrillers, comedies, the list goes on. And because we're celebrating the start of your USL journey, we're giving you access to the extended version of this lesson for free. In it, we'll talk about how this model can be used for a variety of genres, and we'll solidify our knowledge with an in-depth breakdown of the 1988 Christmas classic, Die Hard. See you there.